What are you looking at?
I gotta kill the creepy crawlies that I got inside my tummy.
What's going on, Spooky Gang? Welcome back to Terror of Tech. And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome to Terror of Tech. It's your boy Tech, and I hope everybody's having a blessed day. Y'all already know it's a new week, so new content, so I'm coming with them bangers for y'all, so y'all already know what the vibes are. In this video, like the title says, we're talking about the best movies that are on all of these different movie apps, such as, the Netflix, HBO Max, Hulu, Peacock, and all the rest of the platforms as well. For today, we're talking about the best horror movies that are on HBO Max, also known as just Max. Now, in my opinion, Max has some of the best horror movies out of all the platforms, whether you consider Netflix, Hulu, all that good stuff. I think it has pretty much the best overall selection of horror movies, and I can't wait to get into those. But so for all of those people who are new to the channel, y'all go ahead, subscribe to the kid. We're on the road to 1K subs. Each day we get closer and closer and closer. I just need everybody who's new to go ahead and subscribe and like the video. And then also for all my returning subscribers, y'all go ahead, like the video, and comment down below what are some of your favorite horror movies that are on HBO Max or Max. And also another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, which is super exciting, is your boy Tech is on TikTok now. So y'all go follow the Terror of Tech TikTok. I just created it just a few days ago. Already uploaded a video, but this is just another way for you guys to get more content from me. I can, with the TikTok platform, I'll be able to upload, more frequently, and just giving y'all more content on top of everything that we do here in the YouTube space. So it's gonna be very fun, very interesting, and I can't wait to really start getting that ball rolling. So y'all go ahead and go subscribe to that channel, Tech on TikTok, and we'll get this ball rolling. The best movies on HBO Max. Now, a lot of these best movies that I'm talking about are not only just some very reputable horror movies that are on the app, but they're movies that I personally enjoy a lot as well. So that also plays a factor into, some of these movies that I list. Also, of course, there's a bunch of like horror classics and stuff like that that I've talked about already. So in a lot of these videos, as I'm moving forward, we're going to be talking about some movies that I haven't already discussed, and that aren't already on another platform, and so on and so forth. So to start off this list, we are talking about the movie Malignant. Malignant is a movie that came out in 2021. It's a banger of a movie. Essentially, the movie follows a woman named Madison, plagued by terrifying visions of brutal murders, only to discover these visions are real and linked to a mysterious entity from her past. Really, with this movie, I love everything about it. It's a James Wan movie, and I love a good bit of James Wan's direction. Everything about this movie, the way the film blends psychological tension with like body shock horror and just like a lot of gore and brutality, and then you get to see all of that as Madison is trying to uncover and figure everything out. And that's what makes this movie just so great, just because you really haven't seen any movie that was similar to this. Now, of course, a lot of horror movies, you're gonna see different homages and tropes and things of that nature that you've seen in other horror movies. But when it comes to a horror movie making a twist, how do you change up this movie and make it unique, make it its own, and not make it feel like, oh, this is just another version of such and such movie, you know what I mean? And this movie does that very successfully. It is a movie that is able to stand alone very well, and then when you finally get to the quote-unquote twist part of the movie, then that's when everything goes batshit crazy, and the movie is fire towards the end. Very good movie. For anybody who hasn't seen it, you slacking, I don't know what you want. Definitely go check that out. I'm not going to explain too much more and spoil the movie away, but it is a very good movie, and Tech is definitely putting his stamp on that. The next movie that I want to talk about is Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat is a very dope movie. It's one of those movies that is an anthology. And once again, for the people who are not familiar with anthology movies, it's essentially, it can be done one of two ways. If the movie ends up turning into a franchise, then it could be the case where each movie inside the franchise is completely unrelated, but they're all within the same franchise. Or it could be the case where with this movie, you have multiple different stories within the movie and they aren't necessarily related, but there's always a story that, or like a wraparound story that ends up bringing all the stories back together to one central focus or some central theme or a central character, whatever it is. That's essentially how anthology movies go. So with this movie, it's a horror film that's featuring 5 interconnected stories that all take place on Halloween night, blending, a level of folklore and urban legends together. And of course, let's go ahead and talk about Sam. Sam is one of the best horror villains or antagonists that you could ever really have. The thing that I like the most about Sam is he doesn't take that little bag off of his head like at all. And so that little thing is just hilarious. But then just the fact that he's just slashing everybody up and everybody just thinks he's so cute and this, that, and the other. And he's cutting people up left and right. So that's the crazy part about it. And it's just everything about him is so mysterious because throughout the movie, we really don't know a whole lot about who he is and why he's there and why he's doing any of the things that he's doing, especially with him being so little. But he just has a unique ability to really draw us in and really attract us to his character. I don't really know how to explain it, but he's really a dog. And then as far as all of the other interconnected stories, those are also good as well. I love the one with the kids and the school bus and dealing with that whole situation. And then, the witches and then the aspect with the 3 girls walking around and everything that they had to deal with, their story. Then the dude who's the neighbor and he had to bury somebody in the backyard and all that good stuff. Like all of that is good. Like it's such a good movie. Perfect for Halloween time. So whether you actually watch it on Halloween night or just anytime in October, it is literally the perfect movie for that. It has great atmosphere and really just a movie that you can't beat. Next movie that I want to talk about is Urban Legend. Now I know I probably caught a lot of y'all off guard with this one, but this movie is actually a very good movie. Essentially with this movie, it's a slasher film where a group of college students is hunted by a killer who recreates various deadly urban legends. A lot of this movie and the things that we get to see can be attributed to a movie like Scream. You truly see Scream's influence all over this movie, but the thing that I like about this movie is the whole urban legend aspect of it, and all of these characters being aware of the different situations that they're in, and if such and such happens, then it's likely that such and such is going to happen. So like you see them trying to connect the dots. They start to notice that the killer starts to mirror a lot of well-known myths like Pop Rocks and Soda, and a killer being in the backseat. Like that's what I'm talking about with all these horror tropes. So like it's a lot of things that you may have heard before. Pretty much everything is good about the movie. I like the cast. The acting was pretty good. The killer in this movie also makes it that much better. Just overall, just a pretty fun movie. Just nothing really to complain about. Urban Legend is a really good movie. So like I said, if you like the likes of Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, The Faculty, movies like that, then this movie just falls right into your hands perfectly and is a very good movie that you should watch for sure. The next movie that I want to talk about is Anaconda. Once again, another movie that I know is catching y'all completely off guard, but it is truly a good movie, and especially for the people who are big into those creature feature movies where the creature is the main antagonist and typically a group of people or a group of friends or anything similar to that have to endure this creature or learn figure out ways to defeat it and this, that, and the other. Well, in this movie, plain and simple for the synopsis, it's about a documentary film crew that is traveling through the Amazon rainforest, and then eventually they end up being hunted by a massive deadly anaconda. And the thing I like about it is like through the crew's journey, they're deceived by the snake hunter. Let me say, the dude who is the snake hunter is really what makes this movie good, is because he has his own agenda for trying to accomplish regarding the snake and all that good stuff. So that adds a little extra element and layer onto this movie that makes it like, dang, not only do we gotta worry about the snake, but we gotta worry about this dude who care about the snake more than he care about us. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes that movie good. But just like I said, from a pure creature feature standpoint, it is very successful in that aspect. The cast overall is good. Got Ice Cube, you got J-Lo, you got Owen Wilson. I mean, dang, what else do you need in there? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, really good movie. And shoot, definitely one that you should go ahead and throw on. Now, the next few movies that I want to talk about are kind of in that category of they're already so well known by literally everybody in the world, dang near. So there was no point in me really mentioning them because they're universally known as horror classics for the most part. And so with that being said, some of the movies I want to talk about: The Shining, The Exorcist, the Friday the 13th franchise is on there, Aliens is on there, and then Scream. I already talked about Scream a little bit, but yeah, all of these horror classics are on there. Starting with talking about The Shining, we all know Jack Torrance and his whole family and everything that goes down in the Overlook Hotel. But just an amazing movie by Stanley Kubrick. Good from the writing to the acting to the score to the direction and cinematography, the whole nine. Like I said, I think in my previous video, is it just my favorite movie of all time or anything like that? No, but I 100% respect exactly what they were trying to accomplish with this movie, and ain't too much more to say, but The Shining is always going to be a banger. Another movie that is its counterpart in terms of being one of the best horror movies ever is The Exorcist. The general consensus around The Exorcist is that it's pretty much the scariest horror movie of all time, and I personally have no issue with that whatsoever. When you consider the effects and the writing and just the overall acting and everything that they were able to portray in the original Exorcist from 1973, and still seeing how that holds up today, and we're talking 50 years later, you know, that is a big deal in terms of all of horror, because they really set the standard for what a paranormal / exorcism movie is supposed to look like. Now, almost every movie that tried to do that didn't do it nearly as good as The Exorcist did, but it just goes to show you that it had a tremendous impact and influence on a lot of the movies that came afterwards. So The Exorcist is a movie that you should watch. Friday the 13th, talked about Friday the 13th numerous times. The whole franchise, I think from Friday 1 to part 8, is on HBO Max. So with this Friday coming up being Friday the 13th, there's no better time for y'all to go ahead and watch all of those Friday the 13th. I know I personally will. Will I get through all of them? Probably skip part 7 and part 8, but no, I'll definitely be throwing those on. So those are for sure the ones that you should be watching this weekend. And lastly, Aliens and Scream. I mean, Aliens, coming off the success of Alien, a lot of people think that Aliens is even better than Alien. So regardless of which one you think is better, both of them are great as a 1-2 punch, so you really can't beat it there. And then Scream is very iconic. It revitalized horror in a way that we really needed in the 90s. And so 1996 kicked off, and then we got a crap ton of movies after that tried to emulate it. Some were pretty decent, like Urban Legend, and you know, some people like The Faculty, but there are just so many that were also trash, like Halloween Resurrection. So I mean, hey, ain't too much you can really do about it, but regardless, Scream is gonna be a classic in the horror movie genre. That's all I got for y'all, Spooky Gang. Y'all drop down below what are some of your favorite movies that are on HBO Max. So we already did Netflix. This is HBO Max, so y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all also subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure y'all like the video. Like I said, we're on the road to 1K subs. We're really trying to hit that. We're moving aggressively, trying to accomplish that goal. The goal is to hit it by the end of the year, and I know that we will hit it by the end of the year. So y'all just do me a favor and continue to share the channel, like the videos, and for all the people that are new to the video and to the channel, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe. And also, like I said in the beginning, I'll go follow and subscribe to the TikTok channel. Like I said, my goal is to be able to post, if not every day, every other day, just so we can continue to get, just so we can always get regular content. And there's always something to look forward to for the Spooky Gang regarding your boy Tech and horror. So hey, y'all go follow that, and shoot, like I said, that's all I got. So Spooky Gang, until next time, y'all stay blessed, and y'all already know the vibes. Like always, y'all stay spooky.